Welcome to Wrestling Classics, another fantastic production of ENG Production of Fast Eddie. Like always, doing some great things for professional wrestling. Next to me is the Hangman, Bobby Jaggers. My name is Hugo Savinovich, and I have a tough time here dealing with Mr. Jaggers. It's always ulcer time.
Well, let me tell you something. You know Hugo Savinovich, for a long time in professional wrestling, matches that were on tape were destroyed. The quality was bad. That was before EG Productions, brother. You're going to see some of the greatest right here. The late and great Bruiser Brody, #1. Abdullah the Butcher, Carlos Colón.
What about the match with Dory Funk and his wife against Moolah and Carlos?
Dory Funk Jr. and his wife against Carlos Colón and Mrs. Moolah. But let me tell you something else you got here. You got the Macho Man, Randy Savage. The Mouth himself, Roddy Piper.
Hot Rod.
Oh, I'm telling you, we got an exciting tape for you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we're sitting in your living room, so you make yourself comfortable. And you sit back and you're going to watch some of wrestling's classics brought to you by Hugo Savinovich, Hangman Bobby Jaggers, and EG Productions, ladies and gentlemen. We're bringing them right to you. Let's go to the highlights right now.
The first match features Carlos Colón against bully Tully Blanchard. A lot of great action, excitement in this fantastic match. Colón against Blanchard.
And then, ladies and gentlemen, you'll see youth against experience as El Gran Apollo takes on Dickie Steinborn in one fantastic wrestling match.
And an incredible tag team event when Carlos Colón and Abdullah the Butcher took on Stan, the Lariat Hansen, and Bruiser Brody. Super match.
And then, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Gorilla Monsoon versus the big man Tamba. And ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see these two big giants collide right here on this video.
Then you see Carlos Colón and Fabulous Moolah against Dory Funk Jr. and his wife. It was fantastic action. You will see it right here.
And then, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see King Tonga and Abdullah the Butcher take on Pierre, Martel and Gino, Della.
Talking about action, you will see the one only Hot Rod, Roddy Piper against Invader One in a super fantastic match.
And then, ladies and gentlemen, you'll see Moose Monroe go against Mr. Piledriver, Bob Sweetan, in one heck of a match of two big giants in this match.
And then for the North American Heavyweight Championship, you will see the Macho Man, Randy Savage, against challenger Hércules Ayala. Let's get ready and take you right now to our first match in Wrestling Classics.
And ladies and gentlemen, what a way to start off another great EG Classic tape with nothing better than a World Championship match with the champion, Carlos Colón, the World Wrestling Council's heavyweight world champion, versus none other than the brat, Tully Blanchard.
Carlos Colón and Tully Blanchard have a rivalry.
This rivalry and feud started in San Antonio, Texas in 1983. Hugo Savinovich, and they've carried it all over the Caribbean and all over Southeast Texas.
Not only in the World Wrestling Council banner, but also in the NWA. Blanchard, one of the premier athletes in the world of professional wrestling, and Carlos Colón representing the World Wrestling Council, a title that Tully Blanchard was definitely sure that on this occasion he was going to take it.
That's right. He thought that he had everything going for him. He was down in Carlos Colón's backyard in Puerto Rico, and right there, he's just going to take it right to Colón. He thinks he's going to take this world title, and I'll guarantee you one thing. Tully Blanchard, if I know him the way I know him, he'll be out there giving it 110% all night long.
Referee Ricky Vargas Beniquez from Puerto Rico. And this match taking place in Guaynabo, just 20 minutes away from San Juan. A beautiful building called the Mets Pavilion.
Yeah, like I said, Carlos Colón's backyard. But you know, when you're a world champion, you can kind of do that. You can kind of pick your places you want to wrestle for those title matches. Right there was a nice exchange.
Whoa. One thing about Carlos, you know, he is not that heavy. He's not that tall, but he does stand with any of the big guys as far as the punching power is concerned.
Well, Carlos Colón's got a lot going for him. Carlos Colón is probably one of your premier wrestlers. He can wrestle, he can street fight, he can do anything you want to do. And I'll tell you what, sometimes when he goes out there and starts street fighting with you, you kind of wish you hadn't started things.
Well, sometimes you don't notice that much on the height of Carlos. He's 6 feet tall, but when you're talking about the man involved in professional wrestling, being 6 feet tall is not really that much of an advantage because they're a much bigger man.
That's right, but you know, it's the old cliche, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, and all men are equal when they're laying flat on that mat. You know what I mean, Hugo? Well, I'll tell you something right now. Tully Blanchard has started this match off in a very, very fast hurry. Walked over, slapped Carlos Colón's face. Now he's trying to stay away from Colón. Tully Blanchard's got to change his tactics. That's what Tully Blanchard's got to do.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the career in Carlos Colón. Great wrestler, holding a lot of prestigious titles, including the World Cup given to him in Africa in a big tournament. Over 90,000 fans watching the final event. What about Blanchard? You know a lot about the career of Tully Blanchard.
Well, Tully Blanchard was a great tag team partner at one time. Him, the dynamic duo, the late Gino Hernandez, were probably the longest reigning Texas tag team champions ever in the history of Southwest Championship Wrestling. Tully Blanchard was a Southwest heavyweight champion, one half of the World NWA Tag Team Champions. Tully Blanchard was also a great amateur athlete. He played football at West Texas State where he was quarterback. And Tully Blanchard is one heck of an athlete. He comes from a great family. His dad, Joe, is in the Hall of Fame at Kansas State University.
Very nice man.
He's a very nice man. And as a wrestler and a football player. So it kind of runs into heritage right there on Tully Blanchard.
Okay, but inside the ring, the only thing that's going to count is who gets the pinfall. Is it going to be Carlos or Blanchard? We are giving to you right now classics of professional wrestling, the opportunity to relive all the historical events that took place in the World Wrestling Council.
That's right. You know something? You take a look at this tape, you take a look at Tully Blanchard's hair, and you take a look at Carlos Colón. This tape is a few years old. And like I say, on some of these tapes we're going to be bringing you tonight on this video, ladies and gentlemen, the quality is not going to be that good because of the age and the storage. That's right, on the tapes. But we're putting them on video for you so you get the classics.
Carlos Colón all over Blanchard.
Like I said, Tully's got to change his tactics if he wants to win this. He's got to start getting Carlos Colón in a little bit of a situation, near pin situation here. And he better do it quick before the fans get involved in the match.
This match for the World Wrestling Council World Championship, this was way back before Ric Flair and Carlos Colón went at it for the Universal Championship, title that Carlos Colón won on a very strong and rough match with Ric Flair.
That's right. You see that Carlos Colón threw that man a turnbuckle. Tully Blanchard left his feet, hit the top rope, went over the top rope to the apron to the floor. Tully Blanchard has definitely got to start getting his thing together.
There was no disqualification rule back then about going over the top rope.
Yeah, that just goes to show you, because right there it just happened. But you sit there and you take a look. Tully Blanchard has got to get on the offensive and quit being on the defensive if he wants to be the world heavyweight champion. That's all there is to it.
Blanchard comes right in, side headlock. He's got something in his hands right from his struts all over the eyes of Carlos.
I'll tell you, like I said, and Blanchard knew it. He had to get on the offensive. He couldn't be a defensive wrestler all night long with Carlos Colón, because if you are, Carlos Colón's going to beat you. There's some nice left hands by Tully. You look how strong Colón is. Colón's not going down. He was staying right up there fighting with you a little bit.
Good move by Blanchard. He followed through, going for the pinfall, and not agreeing with his tactics, using that foreign object across the eyes of Carlos, but good follow through, almost getting a pinfall. Sometimes is how fast you could surprise your opponent. Now he's putting all that pressure on top of Carlos.
That's right, you got that reverse chin lock, and he's just bearing down on it. He's going to wear Carlos Colón down a little bit, get him down to being a little bit more tired than Tully is, and Tully's going to try to take it to him and pin him.
Bobby, for the fans at home right now, what's Carlos Colón feeling right now under that hole?
Right now, he's probably thinking he's getting a migraine headache. If it looks like Tully's got it locked underneath that chin, he's putting a lot of pressure on those carotid arteries going up to your brain there. And I'll tell you something, he give you one heck of a headache. And also, the way that Tully's leaning over the top of him, I'm sure that he's taking the air out of that diaphragm too.
Carlos Colón trying to get back into his feet. Not an easy task when you're dealing with a superb athlete like Tully Blanchard. Good tackle by Carlos. Oh, look at this move by Blanchard. And Carlos almost went head first into the floor.
All you do is just grab those front of those tights, let the man's momentum take him right out of the ring on you. And that's exactly what Tully Blanchard did. Now Tully Blanchard's coming out the floor. Oh, nice kick right in the face.
That's more or less your style, Bobby.
Yep.
You love to do that to your opponents.
Sure, name of the game is win.
Are many of the wrestlers from Texas and Oklahoma or Kansas use the same style, or is that the way of life, or what?
It's just wherever you were brought into professional wrestling and how you feel and how you're perceived by the fans. Right there, Tully Blanchard, what I call a hit and run artist. When you're not looking for him, he'll come out there and pop you one, then he's gone. He's quick.
He's fast.
You take a look at Carlos Colón. He threw Colón over that rail. Could have broke that man's arm. Could have broke that man's leg. Tully don't care. Here he goes. See, I tell you, hit and run man. Hit and run man.
Good punching power by Blanchard. Now he's screaming at Carlos.
Imagine he's probably telling him to get back in the ring so he can beat him.
Well, this match is for the World Wrestling Council World's Championship. And if he is to win, he's got to get the champion back in the ring, pin his shoulders, and make him submit inside the ring.
That's right. One thing you can't do with a champion, you can't beat him with a disqualification, and you can't beat him with a countout. You got to beat him inside the ring with his shoulders on the mat. 1, 2, 3. That's the only way. That's the only way you can take that belt. Tully, it don't hurt. You can't do it out there, boy. You got to get him in the ring.
Blanchard all over Carlos Colón. He was going for a pinfall outside. Maybe he forgot the ring is where you get the pinfall.
That's right. He's probably had it in mind. He's just going to cover him, and he didn't care where he was at.
Probably being an expert in Texas death matches, he thought this was one of those.
That's right. Here goes Colón. Colón's running around the ring here. He's getting a little excited.
Okay, can Blanchard stop the moves of Carlos? Here he comes. Whoa. He could hit you so hard and so fast. Turnbuckle, hard. Here he comes. High back drop. Oh, there it is.
The patented cartwheel right there.
The acrobat of the ring.
On the warpath.
Good kicks by Carlos. He is all over Tully. Out he goes. Is this payback time, Blanchard?
Well, I'll tell you something. Blanchard's going to get paid back. Carlos Colón's going to run his right over the rail.
My goodness. And Carlos goes right after Tully Blanchard. Referee's counting by disqualification. Blanchard will not win the title, so the advantage is to the champion.
That's right. Like I said, you got to beat that. You got to beat that champion. You can't.
Here goes Carlos. He beats the count, but he goes right back out to do more damage.
They went out and broke the count. So I think he went and done. So he got another 20 seconds out there with the man. Well, I'll tell you something. Blanchard looks like he's hurt pretty bad right now.
Carlos is just all over Blanchard, and head first into the concrete floor. And the advantage is to Carlos. If they get count out outside the ring, the champion will retain the title.
There's Colón again, breaking that count. See that? He just rolls the ring to break the count.
Well, obviously he doesn't want to win by a count out because he could have just done so.
Now, one thing about Carlos Colón, about anybody that's a world champion, one thing about it, if they're the world champion, they want to prove. They want to prove they can beat you 1, 2, 3. They don't want to get counted out. They don't want to get a disqualification. They want to beat you 1, 2, 3.
A personal issue then by Carlos and Tully Blanchard, one of the many battles.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, what about the balance on Carlos?
Oh.
That was a very risky move on the part of Colón. And Blanchard right there. Referee warning them to go back into the ring. Here comes Carlos, another headbutt. He's all over Blanchard. Blanchard is now crawling his way back into the ring. Good move by Tully Blanchard.
That's what Tully Blanchard can scare you. That's what Tully Blanchard can scare you. Now, I'll tell you what, when you think you got him beat.
That was right in the crotch area. And you know it's painful, and it's not legal, it's illegal. And
well, I think two things have happened here. I think that Tully Blanchard has exploded on Carlos Colón, and I think that the referee has lost all hope of containing this match.
You are right. I blame the referee for not being stronger and getting these two athletes back in the ring.
Even if he has to get forceful, he's got to maintain control of the match. Any referee has to maintain
If the wrestlers control the referee, it's not a beautiful sight, especially in a world title match like this one. Mind you that dealing with the Lions of Tully Blanchard, there's not too many referees in the NWA, AWA, or WWC that could handle his tactics because he will drive anybody crazy.
Well, he doesn't drive people crazy. He just goes out there and beats people. Here he goes, front face suplex right here. Oh, he didn't get him up.
Carlos blocked him.
Oh, Colón reversed it.
Great move. Look at that follow through right on top of Tully Blanchard. He blocks it, putting his
foot's
foot
on the ropes there, Hugo. Don't miss that now. The foot's on the ropes.
Now
Now this is where Carlos Colón goes and starts getting in his little trick basket. The man put his foot on the ropes, so now Carlos Colón's going to try to break his knee. But what is the finishing hold of Carlos Colón?
His famous figure 4 leg lock. And what about Tully Blanchard? What about his moves?
Tully Blanchard's got the most beautiful slingshot suplex I've ever witnessed in a wrestling ring, and he definitely does beat a lot of people with it.
Okay, here comes Carlos. He hooks. Okay, Blanchard blocks it.
He's got his figure 4 almost on, but now he's got it locked.
Now he's got it.
Carlos Colón's now got the figure 4 locked on Tully Blanchard.
Is it all over for the challenger? Oh,
he's on the ropes. He's on the ropes.
Super move. You're watching Wrestling Classics of the World Wrestling Council, bringing you back into the great history of professional wrestling. Great wrestlers going at it in super confrontations in the World Wrestling Council. And now Blanchard finds himself in a world of trouble. Looking for the world title is becoming a nightmare.
Well, I'll tell you something. He's created his own bed, and he had to lie in it. And I'll tell you right now, Carlos Colón has taken it right to him. But as you notice, when that man was in the ropes, Colón was not breaking on him, Hugo Sminovich. He was pounding on him. The rules state when a man's in the ropes, you've got to break the hold, break back away from him, and give him a chance to get out of the ropes. Carlos Colón's not doing that.
Oh, Carlos Colón not giving Blanchard any chance. He's going for all the marbles right here.
Could it be at this time that Carlos Colón might be a little scared of Tully Blanchard?
Well, by the many matches they have had prior to this, Carlos knows that he's not to trust Blanchard at all.
Well, you don't trust anybody, especially when it comes to women or money or professional wrestling. You don't trust anybody. You know that, Hugo Sminovich. But I'll tell you something right now. I think that maybe Carlos Colón's a little bit scared of Tully since you say they have wrestled each other before. Maybe Tully has got his number and Carlos knows it.
Okay, good punch by Tully Blanchard.
That was a desperation punch. Like I told you, Tully will come in and hit you when you least expect it.
Okay, here comes Blanchard. He walks right into that punch of Carlos.
That's a low blow, Hugo Sminovich. That there was a low blow.
Reverse style during the match, I should say. Blanchard used the same tactics on the rails outside.
Not so. That was a flagrant violation of the rules.
Oh, look at this move. He does that. I don't know how can a man move so fast, get his rival off balance, and just like a, how would you say that, Bobby? Slingshot him?
He gets his weight going and just propels him through those ropes.
So you use the front of the trunks and you just charge right through?
Get your weight going backwards and just grab a hold of some of those tights and make his weight go right over. Here goes Carlos Colón up on the top rope.
Whoa!
The referee was in the way there. I'm going to tell you that right now. Carlos Colón had to go over the referee, and when he did, he got met with a right in the stomach.
I have never seen that happen before. The referee still doesn't know what happened, but Carlos is feeling it around the mid part of his body.
Well, I'll tell you something. Like I told you about Tully Blanchard, when you think you got him down, that's when he's going to hurt you.
Oh, he's a tough customer.
He is one tough customer.
They call him Bully Tully Blanchard. And especially if he's got the advantage on the match. He will not go for a quick pin. He will hurt you first. Oh, beautiful suplex.
Now right there, Tully Blanchard could have done his
Carlos,
famous slingshot suplex, but he didn't do it. I don't know why.
Carlos put his boot on the lower rope. Tully Blanchard claiming that he is a new world's champion, but no official sign from the referee.
Well, no, the referee didn't count 3 because the man's foot was on the ropes. Tully Blanchard thought because...
Oh, the referee...
the referee just got hit.
Yeah, elbow went straight into Ricky Vargas. Here comes Tully Blanchard now, right on top of the referee. He lost his balance. Carlos is on top. And 2, 3. Wow.
There you saw it.
You talking about the referee being in the wrong place for Blanchard? He was in the wrong place for Carlos. I think he was in the right place. Very fortunate incident for Carlos Colón as he pulls a big victory here, retaining the World Wrestling Council Heavyweight Championship. Let's take you fans into the next match. Dickie Steinborn against El Gran Apollo.
Well, here we are, right here, El Gran Apollo, the perfect mixture of a young athlete. Only thing he hasn't got experience. And there you take a look at Dickie Steinborn, who's got all kinds of experience.
And he's a great wrestler. Look at that leg block. But Apollo, with his speed, just turns him right over. When we talk about experience in professional wrestling, Bobby, this man, Dickie Steinborn, he's been around for many, many years and had great battles with, you name it, the top names in professional wrestling.
That's right. You know, a lot of guys in professional wrestling back a few years ago, if they wrestled Dickie Steinborn, a lot of the promoters come out and watch because they know that Steinborn's going to give you 110%, and they would just see what the other guys were made out of. Steinborn was kind of a measuring stick. And you can see here, Steinborn's just out wrestling El Gran Apollo, but El Gran Apollo's coming right back with wrestling maneuver after wrestling maneuver, and he's getting, I'll tell you right now, he's getting that experience.
When you talk about wrestling holds and ways of escaping, Mr. Steinborn, a master at this task. Apollo on the other end, a young bodybuilder turned pro wrestler. Look at this move. Look at this.
Yeah, I'm in a pinning combination there.
Oh, good escape by Apollo. And Steinborn, his specialty is the move, the quick moves.
See how quick that was? El Gran Apollo waist locked him when Steinborn was trying to come up. Steinborn didn't get shook up. He just went around into a pinning combination on the man. That's experience there.
Okay, full Nelson by Apollo. Obviously here the strength. It's on the favor of Gran Apollo. But here comes Steinborn using the ropes.
Steinborn, you got to remember one thing, those ropes are not something that are just an eyesore in the ring. They help you too. Those ropes can help you win matches if you know how to use them.
He will use it to his advantage, and when he feels like he's being outsmarted, and not too many guys could do that, he will use those ropes to hurt his opponent, to choke him, to drop him on top, or to throw him over.
And when you're hurt, you can get to the ropes and they have to break the hold. Those ropes are a good thing.
Here comes Steinborn. Good hip toss. Wow, good kick by Apollo. Look at the strength. That's brute strength on Apollo. He just threw him down on a body slam, and I think Steinborn hurt his side there a little bit.
I think Steinborn just sitting there saying, well, we better get this thing together. This kid's a little stronger and quicker than I thought he was. Steinborn, you got to go out there and you got to grab him now. There he goes. That's beautiful amateur takedown.
Good
right there.
move. You could easily break the leg on an opponent. If he's coming forward to charge you, and you're able to catch him off guard like that, his knee could go at any time.
Did you watch how Steinborn hooked that leg on that leg there so that he couldn't be pulled off that hold?
I know the fans of the World Wrestling Council really enjoyed every match of this man. Many
and there
used
you
to
go
hate his
there.
tactics,
You got a good wrestler out there, Dickie Steinborn, and El Gran Apollo's got to punch you. Now you tell me why.
Well, what we're not seeing here is all the other insults in their interviews on the way he expressed himself against the Spanish wrestlers or his opponents. Steinborn used a lot of psychologies throughout his career, and he will sometimes just come to the door of the other opponent's dressing room and just curse him out right there, even before he went into his own dressing room.
Well, that's the way guys do it.
Or throw a rock at your car, or insult your old lady or your girlfriend. He will do anything
I know
to use
something
it
about Steinborn I like.
into his. Well, there's one of the comments of Mr. Jaggers.
You know something, Moolah? You got to take a look at Steinborn. Steinborn now, he's saying, boy, he says, this young guy here has just definitely bedazzled me right now for about 5 minutes. He says, I'm going to have to get in here and do something to change this, and let's just see what happens. There's a nice tackle off the ropes. Went in behind him. Beautiful roll-up.
Oh, my
Beautiful roll-up. 1, 2, oh!
And he was trying to hook for the trucks.
Did
But
you
look at the
see
drop
the
kicks
power?
on Apollo. Now, those drop kicks can make you change your mind in a hurry, my man.
Well, that'll make you change your direction in a hurry, and if you have any brains, you get the heck out of the ring and let's change your mind.
That's what Steinborn did. Many, many battles.
Steinborn's
In the
going to
World
box
Wrestling
with him
Council.
now, which is the wrong thing to do. Steinborn, you give this boy too much confidence now you can't even control him.
I could recall a match between Carlos Colón and Dickie Steinborn that went through for 60 minutes. A draw that I was amazed to see the many wrestling holds used by Mr. Steinborn, by Carlos, and the way Steinborn would escape. When he was almost pinned, he would just be able to magically pull out some kind of defense move and be able to escape for 60 minutes. It was a shocker of a match. It went to the limit, and Steinborn almost coming out a winner, but time ran out. It was a great match between Carlos Colón and Steinborn. Also some great matches of him and the Invaders. Invader One, Invader
a
Two.
lot of the best in the business, Lucas Vinovich. And one thing you always say about Dickie Steinborn, he lasted with him. He stayed with him. He never ran from nobody. He never started a fight that he didn't finish. And I'll tell you one thing, Dickie Steinborn, even to this day, is still a respected name in professional wrestling.
Okay, good move by Apollo. Steinborn hitting his head on the top turnbuckle as Apollo trying to regain some energies here. Look at that punch by Steinborn. He comes right at you.
Whoa, that punch by Apollo just about knocked him out. Whoa, low blow right there.
Yes, it was a low kick. I don't think it was intentional, though. I think
it was intentional. I knew this El Gran Apollo. I wrestled him a few times.
Okay,
everything he did was intentional.
Look at the style on Steinborn. A classic style.
Boom, boy, they're going in for a test of strength. They're going to see who's the strongest one of the two. And I think Dickie Steinborn just bit off a little more than he can chew with El Gran Apollo.
Changing kicks with Apollo. Not the right move by any means. Look at the arms on Apollo.
Yeah, he's got a reverse armbar right there on Dickie Steinborn, but that just opens you up because you're too close to the man.
You know, Apollo, many of the experts, when he was coming along, had predicted of him becoming a world's champion, but nobody was counting on the factor of the injuries in professional wrestling, and 2 serious injuries one was by Bob Sweetan, another one I can't recall at the moment, just took all the hopes that Apollo had. He had to retire.
Well,
otherwise he was risking. Oh, look at that move.
Right there, beautiful 1, 2, 3 by Gran Apollo. He beats the experienced man.
Boy, that was a shocker.
I'm telling you, that was something, wasn't it? 1, 2, 3, and a surprising win over Dickie Steinborn by El Gran Apollo. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to show you a little insight into professional wrestling next. We're going to have Carlos Colón and Abdullah the Butcher versus Stan Hansen and Bruiser Brody. But we're going to show you why and how this match took place. Carlos Colón has come to Abdullah the Butcher's manager's office, his business manager, to offer money, to have a tag team partner on the caliber of Abdullah the Butcher as his partner. Now, these arch enemies were thrown together by a state of circumstances that prevailed in Puerto Rico at the time. 2 of Carlos Colón's best friends and 2 of Carlos Colón's very, very good people that have been his tag team partners for years were injured by Bruiser Brody and Stan Hansen and put out of professional wrestling. And Carlos Colón told the people in Puerto Rico it had to quit, and he had to get the man that he knew that get the job done. And I'll tell you who that man was. That man's Abdullah the Butcher. You take a look at him there. Money makes people do a lot of evil things. And I'll tell you something, Abdullah is probably the most evil person around. And Abdullah the Butcher, I think, has just agreed. As you saw, his business manager shakes hands. But still, there's the man, and this is the match coming up.
Okay, fans, here is the match. A Lumberjack Match. Abdullah the Butcher and his arch rival, Carlos Colón, joining forces against Bruiser Brody and Della Hansen. And at the time, one of the biggest rivalries in professional wrestling was Carlos Colón and Abdullah the Butcher, and also the hate between Brody and Abdullah. This match, hot right from the start.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's a lumberjack match. You take a look there, you see Super Medic around there, you see Pedro Morales standing on the ring, Al Perez is standing there. You see some of the greatest wrestlers in the business today, brother. But look inside that ring. Big, bad Bruiser Brody and the bad man from Borger, Texas, Steinborn Hansen. And they're going to go against Carlos Colón and Abdullah the Butcher. A lot of people don't think Abdullah did the right thing by accepting money to go as Carlos Colón's tag team partner. You know that, don't you, Hugo Savinovich?
Well, the fans were afraid that Abdullah might betray Carlos, and on the long run, they were right. But at that time, Abdullah the Butcher had his eyes set on one purpose: to destroy Bruiser Brody. And at that time, I don't think he really cared about having Carlos as his partner.
Well, I'll tell you something. Like I said, a lot of people do a lot of things for money, brother. And the money was there. The money was there. And Abdullah took the money, and he's going to try to give his word. So people don't have to worry about Abdullah the Butcher. He gave Carlos Colón his word he'd be his tag team partner, and that's darn sure what he's going to do.
You know one thing that I got on you, Bobby Jaggers?
What?
I was there on the night of this classic.
I know. That's one thing you got. I'm watching it for the first time, but I heard it was great.
I'm enjoying it.
I heard it was a great match, and we're getting ready to see it right now.
I have always respected all the great personalities in all sports, but the one I always...
As you can see, he's starting to bleed profusely from the forehead. Here's Carlos Colón. He's got him. Big Bruiser Brody come in and put the big size 15 on him.
Lumberjack match, and all the superstars are running the ring. We can see there Don Kent, one of the fabulous Kangaroos, also great Indian wrestler Gama Singh,
Taras Baba.
Some big
Steve Simpson from South Africa is around the ringside. You got some great talent around the ringside, but take a look in the ring. Look at that big Stan Hansen. Isn't he awesome? And Bruiser Brody was one of the most awesome wrestlers in professional wrestling. You got to admit that.
Then you put Hansen and Brody together, and these are the results. Carlos, flat on the mat.
People being beaten up, people being hurt. That's exactly what Brody and Hansen, that's what they dealt with when they were tag team partners.
Both ex-football players.
For West Texas State University, right, which put out a bunch of great football players and a bunch of great wrestlers.
I heard even the coaches were afraid of this two men.
Boy,
I don't blame
Carlos
him.
Colón's head now. They've busted Carlos Colón wide open.
Carlos, wide open. Look at that elbow shot. An awesome combination. They go up there in the 300 pounds.
Both Brody and Hansen go way over 300. Oh, big knee on the throat area.
And when they
that might be it.
When they come down with those 300 pounds, you feel every bit of those 300 pounds.
I'm telling you, boy, these are some classics, aren't they? Aren't they, Hugo?
Oh, look at that kick.
Oh.
Reverse, low kick. Eddie Grimes, when he comes in and selects matches, he knows what he's looking for. He's a wrestling fan besides being the owner of ENG Productions, and he knows what it's important in history of professional wrestling, and that's why we're looking at this great classics of professional wrestling.
That's right. You know something, boy, you take a look at there. Abdullah the Butcher doing what he does best.
Oh, wait a minute. Did I see the super medic inside the ring? What is happening
what's
here?
What's going on here now? Look at Abdullah the Butcher got it. Now look at everybody's in the ring.
Oh, my goodness.
Everybody's in the ring. There's that boy who was on the match before, Gran Apollo. Carlos Colón's got something in his hand. Look at Bruiser Brody's head's busted wide open.
Match getting out of control. Somebody interfered first and cost.
Oh, boy. Look at this. Oh, Carlos Colón's got a nightstick. Whoa. Look at this.
Hansen coming down.
Butcher's out there now.
Okay, here goes Abdullah. He's after Brody.
Oh, he just got Brody. He just got him right there. Oh, my. Take a look at that. Take a look at that nightstick. Abdullah's got something. Oh, boy, I'll tell you something. They're going all the way back in the dressing room area here. They're going all the way back. Look at Abdullah hitting Brody in the head. Look at Stan Hansen with a nightstick on his throat.
Do you think these guys care about being hurt or getting hurt the way they're treating each other right now, right in the dugout?
Well, I don't know. I just tell you right now, it's...
Okay, where the wrestlers are going right through now is where the bathroom is.
That's right through the bathroom area, going from the dugout out. right there's in the hallway leading up there to the showers. And there's a bathroom right over here on the left. Oh, look right there.
And the camera goes right through, and there was...
They stayed right with this classic match.
Mr. Ernesto was using a bathroom. Let's just say it as simple as that.
Tom Ernesto's been known to be in a lot of bathrooms before, you know.
Well,
that's the way Tom Ernesto is, you know.
Okay, Carlos Colón and Abdullah the Butcher going after Brody.
Oh, look, he has hit a referee now.
Okay, after that came... just a couple of weeks after the Super Cage match involving Carlos and Abdullah against Brody and Hansen, here hits the other referee. And be on the lookout for more tapes from ENG to follow more on these matches. Let's take you right now. Oh, as we watch here.
Wait a minute, he's up in the dressing area now.
This is
just getting a little bit ridiculous here now. He's not supposed to be up in it. Now here's Abdullah the Butcher up there too.
You know something, Bobby? I had completely forgotten that we had this footage right here.
This is footage that people never get to see.
This is amazing. I was here at this night, and I could not believe it. You're talking about Tom Ernesto being in the bathroom. I was naked on the other side.
Oh.
I was hiding for cover. My goodness, fans.
That's back out at the ringside there now. Black Gordman, his head's busted open. Now what's going on here? Boy, they got everybody fighting out here. There's a super medic, Al Perez, Abdullah and Carlos are finally back out.
It's just incredible.
Steve Simpson.
Okay, fans, we're going to take you right now to the next battle. Gorilla Monsoon against Tamba.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. There he is, big Gorilla Monsoon. And there's Hugo Savinovich. There's now you talk about, look at Hugo Savinovich. Who's that guy you're with, Hugo?
It's Tamba, big Tamba. There was a challenge issued, and we wanted to prove to the world that Tamba was better than big Gorilla Monsoon. And here I was bringing up.
Now, wait a minute, that's Gorilla Monsoon right there, the man that slammed Muhammad Ali.
Oh, here it is.
The man that airplane spinned Muhammad Ali. Am I right or wrong?
Oh, yes, he did.
I might mention, ladies and gentlemen, at one time, Hugo Savinovich was probably the premier manager in professional wrestling until he became a commentator, which he's not. You're not to your manager status yet, Hugo Savinovich.
I'm just happy to survive, Bobby. Okay, Tamba to the ropes. Here, Monsoon goes for the bear hug.
Where's this Tamba from, man?
Well, parts unknown. You keep a secret, I keep a secret, my man.
Okay. He's a big boy, though, isn't he?
Not only is he's big, but fast. Can you believe that a man over 400 pounds like that could drop kick? Okay.
Oh, look at that suplex by Monsoon.
Both men going back.
Beautiful side saddle suplex.
Now here I was screaming to Tamba, get up and cover Monsoon. Just cover him.
Monsoon got hurt with that just as much as Tamba did.
But Tamba had the manager on the outside, and I say, give it to him.
Oh.
And he had him. He had him. And here, Tamba, managed by myself, defeating Gorilla Monsoon. You talking about a big task? That was it. The big man, Gorilla Monsoon, came to Puerto Rico, claiming he was #1, and here Tamba was the winner. Fans,
I'll tell you something, Hugo. You might say it now, but I don't think you've heard the end of Gorilla Monsoon yet. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to our next match.
The rain was coming out of the stadium, and Dory Funk Jr. and his wife, Marty Funk, were going into the ring to wrestle against... What can you say about Moolah?
Moolah is probably the greatest woman wrestler of all time. She held the world heavyweight, the women's world
Don't
belt.
say heavyweight, because she'd get upset at you.
No, she'd get upset, but she held the world's...
Probably slap both of us, too.
Probably beat both of us up, right? She held the world's title longer than anybody else in the history of professional wrestling on the female side.
Okay.
And then you got Carlos Colón, who's the Universal Heavyweight Champion, was the WWC World Champion, and probably one of the men that almost became the NWA champion right here in Puerto Rico one time.
Yeah, he won 3 times, 3 draws against the NWA champion. And there is Marty Funk.
Oh, cowboy boot.
Okay, Look at the way Dory Funk, it's all over Carlos Colón. And I must say to the fans that were not aware of this situation, Carlos asked Moolah to join him in this match because on the single competition matches that he had against Dory Funk, Dory's wife always interfered. And being that Carlos is a gentleman, he never raised his hand at her or anything, but she caused him serious injuries, and he said enough. Enough is enough, and went and got Moolah, and this is the match.
Well, let's clarify something too, ladies and gentlemen. This match here is a bunkhouse match. Anything happens, wear your street clothes. It's a street fight. It's exactly what it is. And there you see Moolah chasing Marty Funk around the ring. Dory Funk, her husband, has got Carlos Colón over there on that metal container and beating him up. And right there you see it. Dory Funk Jr. and his wife, Marty Funk. And where is Carlos Colón now?
Well, Carlos was in trouble. He was hit hard by Dory. Meanwhile, Dory was insulting Moolah. Do you know that he wanted to hit Moolah? You know, Dory will do that.
Have you took a look at Moolah? It looks like she's been hit by a lot of men.
Well, one thing about her is for many, many years representing the world professional wrestling, and what a job this lady did. You could say whatever you want to say about Moolah, but she's a credit to professional wrestling.
Well, isn't that who your wife won the title from, Wendy Richter?
Yes.
That's right.
She did.
And right there, Carlos Colón just grabbed Dory Funk Jr.'s other boot. Oh, right in the head with the heel of that boot. Now that'll bust you wide open, Wiggle. And anybody out there that's been in a bar fight knows what cowboy boots will do to you.
And the fans were loving it. And here comes Moolah. Oh my goodness, and even Dory Funk's wife got a little bit of the piece of the boot on the head.
Boy, it's raining out there at the stadium, and these people don't care because the action's hot and heavy in that ring, baby.
Do you know that Puerto Rican fans and people from the Caribbean islands, when it comes to wrestling and it rains, they love it.
They got the right name for them down here, fanaticos, because these people definitely are fanaticos about wrestling.
Well, in English, you call them fans.
And down in Spanish, you call them fanaticos. Well, I'll tell you something right now, you really can't make out what's going on. But I'll tell you, there's Dory Funk Jr. right there.
I know.
His wife head back to the ring.
I know somebody was getting beat up.
Yeah, Carlos Colón was hitting somebody.
Okay, this was the first official match of Dory's wife. And she went into the ring because the commissioner had ordered that if she did not do this, then there was no way that her husband could compete for the championship.
Now, see, to me, that's bad, Sika. I'll tell you, forcing this man's wife into the ring, she's not even really a wrestler, you know. I mean, she's not a wrestler.
Well, she had trained with Dory many, many times, and she was looking for trouble in the matches where Carlos was in battle against Dory Funk.
Yeah, but there's a lot of fans who go to matches looking for trouble, and you don't see them thrown in the wrestling ring and told they had
fans are fans, a wrestler is a wrestler, and if a wrestler's wife interferes in a match, now we're dealing with a direct situation here. Okay, now Marty's running away from Moolah.
Junior's got Moolah, finally got her. Dory Funk Jr. finally got the old bride.
I don't think that's nice of you to say that.
Well, got the older woman in the ring.
Oh, fabulous Moolah in the hands of the Funks.
Look at that.
Good move by Marty.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness, they're going for it, and Marty getting the upper. Look out, here comes Dory. And he was going for Moolah.
Well, Carlos Colón got there awful quick, didn't he, Hugo Savinovich?
Okay. Street fight, everything goes.
Dory Funk Jr. is barefooted. They've taken his cowboy boots.
To his disadvantage.
Well, I'll tell you something. You know, everybody's used those cowboy boots with the guy that wore them in the ring.
That's right. He made a mistake on that.
Well, I'll tell you something right now. Here goes Carlos. Carlos Colón's got Dory Funk Jr. in the side headlock. Now, you think it wouldn't be Carlos Colón, below Carlos Colón, to go over and hit Marty Funk?
What a matchup we're watching here. Bobby, this Dory Funk 4 times NWA World Champion. I should say he was NWA champion for 4.5 years.
Oh, she slapped his face.
A good one. Whoa, 3 in a row. And here comes Carlos.
And you wonder why Dory Funk Jr. wanted to hit her.
Boy, the fans are in ecstasy here. Almost getting the referee there.
Dory Funk Jr.'s eye, it looks like it's busted open, doesn't it, Ugo?
Yeah.
I'll tell you something right now. You can't get any better than the classics of World Wrestling Council Championship action, brother, than they are right here on an EG production, gang.
And not only that, but to the fans that follow wrestling today, in some of these matches, you could catch your superstars in the battles that made them what they are today.
That's right. That's right. As most of these men and ladies you're seeing right here today are still in professional wrestling and still battling night after night, town after town, opponent after opponent. But that's the great thing about professional
some
wrestling.
of these matches were the matches that made them superstars.
That's right. A little later on, you're going to see Randy Macho Man Savage in a match to help make him a superstar.
The World Wrestling Council, the home of many stars. Marty's swinging.
Oh, she's hit him again.
Well, the way Moolah is hitting Funk. And the way Carlos.
I'm telling you.
I don't think Dory never saw that punch coming.
No, I don't think so.
A headbutt, and Dory goes down to man from Amarillo, Texas. Here it comes. Oh, did you see the takedown on the part of Marty? But here comes Moolah.
Moolah's got her now.
This looks like OK Corral here.
Boy, Moolah's got her now.
Moolah all over.
Oh, my goodness. Got Moolah. Oh!
Boy,
I'll tell you, that could injure that woman.
I don't think Dory would love to see this.
Oh, boy. Look at that. They got Carlos Colón. Yeah, now Junior's beating up Carlos Colón. This is getting good now.
Carlos and his wife beating up on... I'm sorry, I'm all confused. Dory and his wife.
Oh, look at Moolah pulling her hair out. Look at that.
Boy, I'm loving this. Bobby, I'm loving this.
I'm telling you, this is great, isn't it?
This is a classic.
Boy, and there goes Moolah. She just hit Dory Funk Jr. and she's got a foreign object.
Boy, this Moolah is something else.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of excitement going on. Look at the people all standing and yelling, screaming, hollering. Look, she's ripping her clothes off. Ugo.
Oh, my goodness.
She's ripping her clothes off.
The fans are loving every bit of this classic matchup. Dory Funk going at it with Carlos. And if Dory doesn't stop Moolah, there won't be nothing left.
Oh, he slapped
What a slap.
You see that? Oh, boy, I think he knocked her out. Look, she almost ripped her clothes off of her.
Dory Funk coming to the rescue. What a double drop kick by Moolah and Carlos. Incredible maneuver.
Oh, well, and Dory got his wife. 1,
got him.
2, 3, that's it, it's over. Carlos Colón and Moolah win.
Eddie Grimes, you were right, my man. Fast Eddie, this is classics of the World Wrestling Council. The battles that made today superstars what they are. I'm talking about great action. Carlos Colón and the fabulous Moolah winning over Dory and his wife in a tremendous battle that's coming out of the ring. Look at that.
Look at her. She just jumped on Carlos's back.
Boy,
just like an old wildcat.
But she's a tough lady.
I'm telling you.
Well, I'm telling you, Dory must behave, because if not, he probably gets beat up when he comes home.
Boy, I'm telling you, boy, look at the fans are just going crazy.
Okay, fans, we are going to cut away from this great tag team matchup. The winners, Carlos and fabulous Moolah. Let's take you now to our next coming event.
Gentlemen, Bruiser Brody versus Abdullah Butcher. At this time, Bruiser Brody was managed by Pretty Boy Larry Sharp. And thanks to EG Productions, I'm going to tell you right now, Hugo Savinovich, we saved this tape. This tape here is among the classics of the classics.
Yes, and we were very fortunate that Eddie Grimes was able to rescue this the last moments of this tremendous brawl between Abdullah the Butcher and Bruiser Brody. Larry Sharp was the manager at the time, and you also see Barabbas on the background.
Yeah, you know, this here isn't a wrestling match, ladies and gentlemen. And anybody that sat down and thinks they're going to watch a wrestling match between these two giants.
Let's point out that Barabbas was managing Abdullah the Butcher at the time.
But anybody wants to know that these guys are not going to wrestle. They're going to fight. They're going to take foreign objects. They're going to take boards. They're going to take forks. Anything they got, they're going to take, and they're going to sit there and beat each other with it.
Okay, a brawl outside the ring. These are the last moments of this fantastic brawl between Abdullah the Butcher and Bruiser Brody. Wow.
Oh, look at that chair. That had to bust Abdullah wide open. Brody's busted open. His head's busted open. You see the people running. Abdullah's not running and Brody's not running. They're going right at each other.
Everybody else is running, though.
That's right.
And we don't blame him. Okay, Brody and Abdullah going at it. Obviously, you know, fans, they never made it into the ring. I don't think they really cared for an official win. They were just out to hurt each other.
Boy, look at Brody. Brody's got Abdullah by the lower jaw there. He's just trying to rip and tear. And Abdullah's got Brody around the throat.
Barabbas looking out in the back. Pretty boy Larry Sharp.
Oh, look right above Brody's left eye there is busted wide open. Oh boy, I'm telling you, this is a classic match. And thanks again to EG Productions, so I get to see this again.
And to all the new wrestling fans, an opportunity to find out the story, the way it happened in professional wrestling.
That's right. You take a look here, Bruiser Brody, a lot of the new wrestling fans never got to see him wrestle. He was a great wrestler. Look at Larry Sharp run up there, and the manager run up there and push Brody into Abdullah. Oh, look at the karate thrust right to the throat.
Okay, Abdullah all over Bruiser Brody.
These are just two big, mean guys, and they like to mix it up.
I think I saw Ricky Vargas shaved completely.
Oh, yes, Ricky Vargas' head shaved completely. Isn't that when he had the tattoo on top of his head?
Yes, he did.
Now, there's Larry Sharp. He's getting awful close to his boy over there now.
Well, so is Barabbas.
Which one's the better manager? Well, you were a manager. Which one's the better manager?
I have to say I was the best.
Look at Larry Sharp. Won't let him go back to the dressing room.
You know why I was the best? Because I brought the best out of the superstars.
I gotta admit, you had some good talent here.
I was very positive. I gave him confidence, and I stood behind him. And I think the record speaks for itself.
That's right. Success always speaks for itself.
Oh, look at that.
Brody went right over that rail. Oh, there. And Abdullah's got Larry Sharp. Got the pretty boy. And he's got him in between the railings there.
His head right in between the... Oh, my God.
Oh, look at Abdullah. Just gave Brody a big boot. Now they're his fight. They're just trading it back and forth.
Barabbas getting hit.
Barabbas got hit.
And the fans are loving.
Boy, you take a look at the wrestling fans. They're just going absolutely bananas. Barabbas is getting hit by his own boy, Abdullah. Abdullah's beating him up. Now here comes Bruiser Brody with a table or something. Look at this. So we'll go. Now Barabbas and Abdullah, they're good friends. Oh, he just hit him again. Boy, I'm telling you, some days it doesn't pay to get around people that are crazy. Look at the wrestling fans. They're just going wild.
With Abdullah, it was never safe to be around him because you never know what this man could do.
Right there, he just hit Barabbas in the head with a board. I'll tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. This has been just one great classic of a match. And we'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with Carlos Colón, Pedro Morales, Andre the Giant versus Kendo Nagasaki, Tamba, and Ox Baker. Ladies and gentlemen, this is another classic from Fast Eddie EG Productions. Just the close of this fantastic match. As you can see, Pedro Morales is in the ring. He's being beat up right now by Kendo Nagasaki and Tamba. And there's Ox Baker on the ropes. This has been just an exciting match. It's going in progress. There goes Pedro Morales. Pedro tags Carlitos Colón. Carlos comes in, does that cartwheel, and here they go. Carlos Colón just pounding on Kendo Nagasaki. Just dishing it out to him. Nice and hard and heavy. Now you take a look around there now. Carlos Colón strictly just pounding and pounding away on Kendo Nagasaki's frontal lobe. Right there, ladies and gentlemen, you see Carlos Colón land another right hand. And as you can tell, he busted open Kendo Nagasaki right above his right eye. Kendo Nagasaki now waving in his teammates, Tamba and Ox Baker. And as you can see, they're met by Andre the Giant and Pedro Morales. And ladies and gentlemen, right there you saw Kendo Nagasaki spit the green mist in the eyes of Carlos Colón, temporarily blinding and getting his team disqualified. Now let's go to our next match. Pierre Martel and Gino Della Serra versus King Tonga and Abdullah the Butcher with their manager, the one and only Hugo Savinovich.
A lot of years back.
These are the classics, Hugo Savinovich. These are why they're called the classics.
What about this martial art experts? Abdullah the Butcher, King Tonga. Boy, you're talking about an awesome combination.
Looking boys, didn't you?
Let me tell you, with these two guys, I had fear of no tag team in professional wrestling.
Yeah, you take a look across the ring. You got a good tag team over there. You take a look at Pierre Martel, one of the most popular men ever to hit Puerto Rico. And by the way,
the Martels were very famous.
Very
all
famous
over,
here.
Especially in the Caribbean and Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, up in Canada, and now in New York. And also you have Gino Della Serra, a up and young coming wrestler out of Montreal, Canada, and just a fantastic talent. And here they go in, like you say, in the ring with Pierre Martel. Pierre Martel doesn't ask for no quarter and doesn't give none either, you know.
Look at King Tonga. You know, at the time when I saw Tonga, I knew then that he was destined to be a great superstar. And like I said, right now you have the opportunity to see back then what Kid Tonga was all about.
He's so fast, so agile, and he's just a good professional wrestler. And there you see Pierre Martel. 3 beautiful moves in a row by Pierre Martel. Abdullah the Butcher, he's trying to get his nose in the ring.
Tonga close to 300 pounds. Abdullah close to 500
right
pounds.
There. Tag, get that fresh man in the ring. There's Gino Della Serra, a good little wrestler too.
Yeah, coming from a great wrestling family. But to deal with the likes of King Tonga and Abdullah, it takes more than just wrestling holds.
That's right. You got to be a little bit of a street fighter. I know it's over there on that side of the ring, just weighing things.
Can you see the glitter on part of my face? You know, the Road Warriors, all these wrestlers came about with the paint and all that, but...
you were an original,
yes.
Hugo. I admit that. I was down here with you, and you were an original. And right there, Abdullah the Butcher. Now, this poor kid, Della Serra, now is in bad shape. He's in the wrong corner, and he's got 2 of the most vicious men in professional wrestling beating on him.
Gino Della Serra getting hit hard by Abdullah the Butcher. And the advantage in the case of Abdullah and Tonga being that Abdullah with that weight could move so fast, and Tonga being so big and so fast, they don't get tired.
That's right. They just and they maul people. Yeah. They're so big they get out there and they just take their physical presence and just degrade them and beat them and they take the fighting spirit out of the man. That's what they do.
My problem was holding them back. That was my problem.
I imagine you had to hold them back to wait for the big days.
As a matter of fact, let me tell you something. Right now, it is hard to hold Abdullah back or King Tonga. King Tonga doing his thing in the WWF right now, and Abdullah, he's all over the World Wrestling Council, destroying TV studios and wrestlers.
Oh, that's right. Abdullah the Butcher still one of the biggest names in professional wrestling. King Tonga, as everybody knows, is a big name in professional wrestling. And Pierre Martel, we might mention, is a big name in professional wrestling. Most of the people you see wrestling in the World Wrestling Council are or have been great names in professional wrestling.
Gino Della Serra He doesn't know where he's standing right now.
No, right there, he just got
He's
hit with
out.
a drop kick by a 300-pound man, and Abdullah the Butcher sitting there headbutting him.
So
I think the best thing this kid can do is just try to go there and tag Pierre Martel, get that experienced man in there.
tag or just pack his bags and go.
Dude, that's about it. There's Abdullah, thrust the throat. Here's a classic Abdullah. Here's a classic Abdullah. Look at that clothesline.
Wow.
Whoa, boy. That's a big arm, brother. That's a big arm. Watch the big Abdullah. Oh.
Moving in so fast all over Della Serra. Oh, look
The
out.
big elbow. Oh, that's it.
And that's
It's all over. One,
mark.
2, 3. And as you
Excuse
see,
me, but it's all over. A victory for King Tonga and Abdullah the Butcher. Wow, tremendous action. Let's take you fans to Invader number 1 against Hot Rod Roddy Piper.
right here you got it, Hugo Savinovich. Invader number 1 in progress with the Hot Rod man himself, Hot Rod Roddy Piper. And then, you know, ladies and gentlemen, these are the classics. These are the classic matches from the WWC, and I'll tell you something right now. You take a look at Hot Rod Roddy Piper, and he's down here fighting the Invader, one of the toughest men on the block in Puerto Rico.
He was not well liked here in Puerto Rico or the Caribbean islands, or to speak about it in the United States. He did become a great superstar. It was feuds like this one with Invader One that made him a household name in professional wrestling, because Piper, it's every bit of that. A rowdy competitor, a tough cookie, and he was really ready for any kind of competition. We're looking at a classic encounter, the Invader One against Roddy Piper, who had come to the islands insulting the Puerto Rican wrestlers and their race, and this was the match to settle all the scores between the Rowdy One himself, Piper, and the Invader One.
Yeah, right there you saw Roddy Piper. He climbed up on that top rope. He went to give him a big knee there. The Invader number 1 just taking the measure of Roddy Piper, taking him and just, like you say, just, there he goes. There's the Hot Rod. Hot Rod got him down. Now he's going for a Boston Crab.
Can he turn him over?
I don't know. The Invader number 1's a pretty strong old boy. There he goes,
Look at
the figure four.
Oh my goodness, what a move.
Carlos Colón's pet hold right there, Hugo Savinovich, and he put it right on the Invader. See, the Invader was worried about if he was going to turn him over that Boston Crab.
And he fell right to the...
Switched him right into the figure four.
Great move by Piper. Now, the Invader One must turn him over.
He's trying to get all the strength he can from himself, from the wrestling fans, and he's trying to get out of that hold. There's a Hot Rod holding onto the ropes, putting a little more leverage on it.
I had the pleasure, Jaggers, of being around many of the matches of Piper, and with this man, you never knew what he was going to do.
He had a fuse that was so short, you never knew when it was going to go or when it went. He went big time, I'll tell you. Roddy probably one of the toughest guys in professional wrestling for a long time, and now that he is retired, I'm sure there are a lot of guys taking a sigh of relief from that.
Yeah. Well, I know the world of professional wrestling, it's going to always miss somebody like Roddy Piper, very important to the growth in audience and spectators all over the world, because this man had a lot of followers, not only in TV programs, but they wanted to see him live. Everywhere he went was success for the promotions that had him under contract.
Look at that Invader starting to switch that over now. Invader's starting to switch that, reverse that figure four, and there he goes, and he's got all the pressure on Roddy Piper. Roddy's in the ropes, they're going to have to break the hold.
Okay, referee breaks the hold. Piper feeling some pain. Misses the clothesline, and he falls right into the sleeper.
See there, that Invader ducked that clothesline and went right for the sleeper hold, just like Roddy did a few minutes ago with trying to go for the Boston Crab, and reversed it right in the middle of it and going for the figure four.
Both
right
men,
there you saw the Invader do about the same.
Both men going for some good moves, and there we heard the bell rang.
I think we heard the bell ring.
Time expired. We're so fortunate to have been able to save this last minutes of this match for all you fans right now to witness one of the classic encounters between Roddy Piper and Invader number 1. Obviously here, time running out. This was just one of the first matches of Piper in main event matches here in the World Wrestling Council.
And ladies and gentlemen, there goes Roddy Piper right back on the Invader number 1.
What did I tell you about? You never know what Piper is.
Never know when he's going to explode. When he explodes good.
The Roddy.
Oh, he just ran the Invader's head right at that ring post. Did you see that?
Wow.
Boy, he threw his face in that ring post, didn't he?
The referee pushing Piper back. The Invader One bleeding outside the ring. But Piper's coming back for more.
Boy, I'll tell you something right now. He busted him wide open. Whoa.
Piper all over the head of the Invader One.
Boy, he run his head right in that ring post.
Look at the hand, blood everywhere.
Oh, he beat him up. He beat him up good, didn't he?
Blood all over his hand. The damage has been done. Time expiring on the official match, but the Invader One getting hit hard against the ring post. Let's listen to it.
Here you go. Let's see if we hear Roddy.
Oh. Asking for 5 more minutes.
Yeah. He did it in a very blunt way.
A personal challenge.
After the Invader got his head busted open and got beat on by the microphone, I don't think he's going to get in the ring for 5 more minutes.
Okay, so Piper hits him twice in the head with the mic, hits him against the ring post. Oh, there is the hat. Is that the hat we were talking about? Jaggers, the famous hat?
That's right, the famous hat of Roddy Piper's that you've been telling me about. You like this hat, don't you, Will?
Boy, he came into the islands with this hat, and everybody on the streets was talking about it the next day.
Well, I hope they get a close-up of the hat. I want to see the hat.
The hat had like the pig's head in the front.
Oh, I've seen that before. Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, let's not go till we get a close-up of this hat.
We got to get a close-up of this hat now,
Let's see if we
Director.
get close to him. Okay, we're getting close there.
Oh, there's the Invader right back and knocked his hat off his head.
Oh, aren't we happy we didn't go?
Oh, boy, I'm telling you.
Oh, Eddie Grass would have been hot with us.
Be mad at us. There's the
Eddie
hat.
Grass would have been hot with us.
Boy, I'm telling right. Oh, Roddy has got his head running the ring post.
Boy, aren't we lucky we stayed here, Bobby?
Yes, sir. Well, like we said, we're bringing you the classics, and we went down and we got them all out. We haven't seen all of these matches, as we tell you right now. We're commentating, but like I said, here it goes. Invader number 1 and Roddy Piper again.
Well, Piper asked for 5 minutes, and 5 minutes are not up yet. Piper, don't go.
Oh, right hand by Invader.
Now, Invader is bleeding. Piper, much fresher of the two, but that ain't stopping Invader for trying to get even. And I think the worst part was the insults by Piper. Okay, Piper runs out. Here goes the Invader One. Boy, does Eddie Grimes have a selection for classics or not?
I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you, boy, I'll tell you now, the wrestling library is complete. And Roddy Piper's head's busted open there, too.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you something, now the wrestling library is complete until you have all.
Oh, here comes Piper again.
Yep.
Whoa!
Oh, right in the head.
Okay.
Boy, I'll tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. That was a classic match.
Okay,
from EG,
now we can say it's over. Let's take you now to Bob Sweetan, Mr. Pile Driver in the big Moose Monroe.
Yeah, here he is. Big Bob Sweetan, Mr. Pile Driver, and Moose Monroe, who looks a little bit out of shape to me, Ulysses.
Two big guys. The land of the giants in the ring.
Looks
Moose,
like these two guys are just going to sit there and slug it out a little bit, doesn't it?
yeah. Oh, they were coming in the ring to prove who could take it, baby, and they were ready.
Oh, who's got the bragging rights in Puerto Rico, huh?
Well, at the time, Sweetan said he could punch anybody out. And Moose Monroe, well known around Puerto Rico and other parts for the reputation of being a brawler. So this was a pretty interesting confrontation. Good knee by Sweetan.
Well, I know Sweetan personally. Sweetan weighs over 300 pounds. So how big is this Monroe guy?
Over 300. Mean dude.
Oh.
Mean dude. Sweetan mean, and this Moose Monroe, he could clear a bar anytime, my man.
Well, I'll tell you something. He looks like he's one of those kind of guys, too. That Sweetan, you got to watch him. He's a great wrestler. Bob Sweetan was big, mean, never asked you for nothing, and he took everything he wanted. You know what I mean? That kind of wrestler. He was a wrestler-type wrestler. He would cripple you, use the pile driver, hurt many a men. I saw many a men.
Well, including Gran Apollo. He was one of the men that hurt the Gran Apollo.
That's right, Gran Apollo. When Gran Apollo got ready to
ended his career.
Sweetan retired.
He loved it. He was so proud about it. He said, one of my biggest thrills is when I take a young guy in professional wrestling and I know for a fact that I have destroyed his career. I'm proud of that.
Well, I'll tell you something. That's the man that can do it right there. Big Bob Sweetan. They call him Mr. Pile Driver, and he got that name by being able to use it.
Okay, Moose Monroe being cornered by Sweetan.
Boy, we got a treat for the people after this match, haven't we?
Yes, sir.
We got an interview and then a match with Macho Man Randy Savage.
And many people, they seen what Savage has done lately, and they say, wow, what a new superstar. He was a superstar way back.
Sure, that's just like, people sit there and they get the big TV exposure in the United States, all of a sudden they're superstars. Well, I got news for you, ladies and gentlemen. There's superstars wrestling in every arena, in every little town in the United States on any given night. They're all superstars. They're professional wrestlers.
It's just a matter of getting the opportunity of national television.
Getting the TV exposure, that's right.
There's great talent out there, and it's just a matter of a promoter giving the opportunity to this wrestler to have a match with a top star on national television. And it could go either way, because if you lose, everybody has seen you lose, but if you win, you're right there.
That's right.
An open door of success.
Right there, I saw Bob Sweetan for the first time go into a greased knuckle lock and have a man almost take him down.
Yeah, it was a strong brawl. A lot of the wrestlers are watching this because, you don't usually get a chance to see two big men going at it. Not too much wrestling, just...
Oh, big haymakers. This Moose Monroe boy, he likes to punch and kick with the best of them, doesn't he?
Okay.
Oh, a Sweetan's got some hard right. Oh, another hard right. Yeah, here he goes.
Oh, look out.
Driver. He got him.
Ooh.
Oh.
The pile driver, very effective. He's got him.
1, 2, 3. And your winner, ladies and gentlemen, Bruiser Bob Sweetan, Mr. Pile Driver. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to a Macho Man Randy Savage interview and then a match with Macho Man Randy Savage versus Hércules Ayala.
Tonight, stupid people, unless you're real smart and clever, concentrate right now to the utmost 100%, and even try harder than that. Hércules Ayala, I want you to listen to me, and I want you to listen good, and I want you to concentrate, Do it real fine and do it for tonight in Ponce, Because in Ponce, the Macho Man Randy Savage with his $1 million robes, I've done so much in such a short period of time that I amaze myself. Hércules Ayala, don't you know that you better not even make me mad at all. Because I'm going to be styling tonight in Ponce, because I've been to Ponce before. And all the people in Ponce have been writing letters saying, let's have the world's greatest athlete and the world's sexiest wrestler. Sex. All the chicks, man, in Ponce, come on out and see a real man. Hércules Ayala, you're nothing.
Boy, Hugo, I don't think you could say it any plainer than that, could you?
Nick.
The Macho Man Randy Savage, the North American heavyweight champion at the time, to face #1 challenger, Big Hércules Ayala. Just to demonstrate, Jaggers, the fact that Savage was a star many, many years ago. He was
right. Before New York came along.
Yeah, before New York, before WWF. He was a great wrestler back then.
Not only that, he was a pretty fair country baseball player. I'll tell you that right now. He got up to AAA. He was a heck of a third baseman and a heck of a good hitter. But he likes professional wrestling better, which is what his brother and his father have done for a living. And Macho Man Randy Savage is definitely a credit to professional wrestling. And in the ring with him, the strongest wrestler in the world, Hércules Ayala. And there's not too many things you can't say bad about Hércules Ayala. Number one, ex-Universal Wrestling Heavyweight Wrestling Champion.
Canadian Heavyweight Champion more than 3 times. European
States
champion.
Heavyweight Champion.
Germany's Heavyweight Champion.
Yes, this man has been around. Hércules Ayala right now is embroidered in a bitter feud in Puerto Rico with Carlos Colón. And I'll tell you something, one of them's going to get crippled in that feud.
That's right. Okay, the belt shown by the referee Ricky Vargas. Randy Macho Man Savage, the North American Heavyweight Champion. Hércules Ayala to challenge him. We are in Ponce, Puerto Rico, approximately about 2 hours away from the capital of Puerto Rico, San Juan.
That's right. Of course, everything on this island is about 2 or 3 hours away. It's only 100 miles long and 35 miles wide.
Unless you drive at nighttime drunk to Maya West.
That's true.
And mess up the tires of your car.
There's a little inside joke onto that one there, ladies and gentlemen.
If you want to know about it, write to Eddie Grice Productions. He'll be happy to explain.
They see Macho Man and Hércules here. They're sitting there. I think this is one of their first meetings together. As you can tell, they're both kind of feeling each other out just to see what's happening, you know?
Well, I'll give you the insight on this rivalry. Randy Macho Man Savage taking a North American Heavyweight Champion, claiming that there was no man able to defeat him. Oh, what a body. He's always had great shape, this Savage. And Ayala promised the wrestling fans of the World Wrestling Council that on that evening, he was going to take the belt away from Savage. And Savage say, no way, as you heard in the interview. And this was the great battle for the North American Championship.
Well, I'll tell you something. Macho Man Savage went to slam Hércules Ayala, and he didn't get him 1 inch off the mat. Let me tell you, brother. Well, that's a big man, Hércules Ayala.
We, right here in Capital Sports, and I'm pretty sure most of the wrestlers and officials in the World Wrestling Council, we are very proud of Randy Macho Man Savage. And he's so successful today, and we recognize his talent.
Look at Hércules Ayala right now, just press slam Savage, 260 pounds above his head, and just pitched him across the ring. Now that's a man obsessed. That's a man. Look at Savage, can't get out of the ring fast enough.
Okay, so now we go back into the other point. Now you have seen another Hércules in the United States, another Hércules, but when you go back this many years back, and you already see a man wrestling under the name of Hércules Ayala, then this new superstars coming along with these names are not really the originals.
No, that's one thing about professional wrestling. The originals were back in the 40s and the 50s. We just carry on the tradition.
And Hércules Ayala has been in wrestling profession for many, many years.
And I might add, he's one of the top professional wrestlers in the world today. He's widely respected, and he's widely known that if you go into the ring with Hércules Ayala, you're going in there with the strongest man in professional wrestling, and he can and will hurt you. He's got an inverted figure 4 that has broken many legs.
What about the difference, though? At the time, Ayala was fighting for the colors of the Puerto Rican island, and his friends were Carlos Colón, the Invaders. At the present time, in 1988, Ayala is no longer a member of the Justice Army or the Puerto Rican wrestlers or the scientific style wrestlers, but indeed he's an ex-Universal Champion, and he's one of the tough and roughest professional wrestlers, what you could call a bad guy.
Well, let me tell you something about Hércules Ayala.
Talking about bad guys, right next to me, it's one of
let me tell you about
those guys.
Hércules never had anything going his way until he started beating up those so-called friends of his that wouldn't let him have a title match. Then he started becoming a champion. That's why he changed his ways. Look what he's doing Randy Savage right now. He's just completely out-muscling this man, out-thinking this man. He's totally dominating this match, Hugo.
Well, Savage was not prepared to face Ayala on that night. You could sense it right from the beginning. Savage thought that he could just go in the ring and just walk all over Ayala, but with the fans screaming at the Coliseum, Pachín Vicente in Ponce, they got the champion nervous.
Well, you can see right there, those big slams of Hércules have definitely taken their toll on Macho Man Randy Savage.
And one thing about Savage is he loves people applauding him, but if you reject him, if you boo him, you could really get him upset.
Oh, that's for darn sure. And the Puerto Rican wrestling fans are known to be a little bit trying to get everybody upset.
Oh, yes, especially if they are against the wrestler with their favorite wrestler in the ring at a time. In this case, Savage.
You take a look at Hércules Ayala. Hércules Ayala now knows. He's one of these guys that he knows right now that he's completely dominating this man, and I think he sees the fear in Savage's eyes.
Okay, Savage stalling for time here. Referee, he's all over Hércules Ayala. Ayala wants to get the champion inside the ring. Savage using a little bit of psychology, and that he is an expert.
Did you notice anything here, Hugo? This is all pre-Elizabeth days, too. He never had Elizabeth with him when he was down here.
She's been good to his wrestling career, but she hasn't made him a star. He has made her a star.
He's done the wrestling, that's right. She's just out there on her coattails. But anyhow, you can't argue with success. And here you go, Randy Savage got a side headlock. Oh,
he drops down again. Oh, another time. Whoa!
You see how effortlessly he did that, Hugo Smith? Just picked him up like a little toy. Just like a little toy.
Okay, the champion protects himself, putting the boot on the ropes. But Ayala right there, ready for him. And if you haven't seen Ayala, let's talk to the fans that are maybe watching this tape right now in Canada, some parts away from Puerto Rico, or the places where the World Wrestling Council tapes are seen. If they think that Ayala looks good in this tape, they should take a look of the most recent tapes of Eddie Grind's production. He is a powerhouse.
Oh, I'm telling you, he's Hércules Ayala. You can't say enough about him. I mean, he's a good friend of mine, and I'm proud to say he's a good friend of mine. And Hércules Ayala, without a doubt, will be the Universal Heavyweight Champion again.
Well, I don't know about that. There's a lot of men looking for the title in the upcoming tournament. There's Ronnie Garvin, there's Carlos Colón, the Iron Sheik.
Jimmy Boogie Willie Man Valiant.
Chris Adams. I don't think Balin, it's been rated for the tournament, but you never know.
Martel.
Until the date comes and you see the 8th man going for the tournament, then we know. But regardless of who wins the tournament, they might win the match right there and become the champion. The thing is, all the big names around the World Wrestling Council, including yourself, Jaggers, your partner, Dandy Dan Crawford, like you mentioned, the Boogeyman Jimmy Valiant. There's also Kamala, and the list goes on and on.
They're going to be after that man the day he gets the belt around his waist. He's going to be a marked man. Everybody's going to be chasing him like he's got his hands full, he's got his hand caught in the cookie jar.
So we go back in history and check this classics. Randy Macho Man Savage, the North American champion at the time, defended the title against Hércules Ayala. Everybody talks about the great success professional wrestling has today. Wrestling has always drawn great fans, but it never really had since 1940, the age of Gorgeous George, and never had the national TV exposure.
Right. You take a look at this house right here in Ponce. This was before New York days. I don't think you can find too many seats there in that place right now. And Puerto Rico has been that way for years and years.
Many years.
Just fantastic wrestling fans. But of course, you have the best talent in professional wrestling here too.
And it's more coming along.
Right there, he just low-blowed Hércules Ayala. And I'll guarantee you one thing, that just took the wind out of Hércules' sails.
And the fans didn't like it. The fans were upset about it. Nothing that the referee can do, just warn Savage. And look at Savage.
Look at those people behind him over there. They're trying to tell Ricky Vargas to get him out of there, that he low-blowed Hércules Ayala. Well, Hércules had full wind in his sails until that move there. Classic elbow. Ooh.
You're talking about speed. That's one of the assets on Savage's wrestling career.
That's right.
The balance, the risk moves. There is one. Oh!
Oh, they caught him in a bear hug.
Mr. Hércules Ayala.
He got him in a bear hug. You
know, at one given point in his career, not only did Ayala defeated some top names, but he was one of the first wrestlers to defeat names like King Kong Bundy and the Iron Sheik.
That's right. Hércules Ayala has been around this island for a while. He's been in the central states of the United States, like we said, Canada before, Texas. Always very well received. Always, like I said, respected by the wrestlers. And I'll tell you something right now. Boy, when he gets up going, he gets a full head of steam on him. He's pretty good.
You know, I was there on that night of this match in Ponce. And the fans were 100% behind Hércules, to the point that when Ayala was coming to the ring, everybody was just begging Hércules Ayala to defeat Savage, because he was so confident. And as you know, Savage, when he is confident, he will brag and brag about it. But the thing was that on that given day, Savage had made the statement that Ayala was going to be defeated, and so did Ayala. So it was a tremendous battle, and we are honored in being able to bring it to you fans, so you can take a look at the classics in professional wrestling.
Well, I'll tell you something. Oh! Right there, that man moved. That's a bad way to end up.
Well, if it hurt in the moment, imagine after the body cools off.
Oh.
That's when it really hurts.
Oh, and there goes Hércules, that big size 13 boot, just stomping and kicking.
Okay, Ayala all over Randy Macho Man Savage, the challenger, all over the champion. Good punches, rocking the Macho Man. Whoa.
Boy, he's rocking.
Another shot. The referee right in the middle, warning Ayala to go back. He's counting. Uh-oh.
Hércules Ayala better be careful, or he's going to get disqualified in this title match. He's not going to win no title.
Yes, sir.
And that's what Ricky Vargas is explaining to him right now. Listen to him, or he's going to take him back to the dressing room.
Okay, Savage throwing some punches to the win.
Oh, big right hand by Hércules Ayala.
And Savage at this moment was facing danger.
He knows he's about ready to get
Oh, look out! That is the moment where Savage takes out a big chain and nails Ayala right on the head. He goes for the cover. Look. 1, 2. Ayala barely puts his boot on the lower rope.
Well, I'm telling you something. You see that Macho Man Randy Savage turn his back, the camera reached in his pocket, got a chain.
Savage
come out with the chain.
But Ayala stood right up.
Oh.
A lot of blood coming out from the head of Ayala, but he was there, ready to finish. Savage going again for the chain. This time hitting Ayala.
There he goes. He's getting that chain again. Now let's just see what kind of damage he can do with it.
He picks up.
He almost turned towards the referee there, brother.
All right.
Classic Randy Savage move. Up on the top rope.
The Macho Man. Oh, he missed the elbow. And when he missed the elbow, he went one more time for the chain. Hits Ayala.
Ayala's down again.
1, 2.
Foot on the rope.
And I'm talking about he saved himself, putting the boot on the lower rope. Just 1 second away from victory for the champion. Referee puts the arm down. The match continues. Ayala bleeding, but not quitting.
He's been hit twice with that chain. I don't know how much Hércules Ayala can take of that chain before he has to lay down for a 3 count.
Okay, Savage getting close to Hércules Ayala. He wants to use the chain one more time. Referee warning Savage not to break the rules. Here comes Ayala. He's searching for the chain.
He's got his hand in his tights there. He's trying to get that chain out, and he's going to use it on Macho Man Randy Savage, if he can, I think.
Oh, he's got the chain. Yes, sir, he's got it. Away from the referee, and he hits him hard. He got him.
1, 2,
3.
Right there, Hércules Ayala wins the North American heavyweight title in Ponce, Puerto Rico from Macho Man Randy Savage. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you and tell you it's been great bringing this video to you this week.
Before we go away, Savage tried twice using a chain. Was very lucky for Ayala to be close to the ropes. Ayala conquering the championship. Everybody in Ponce was so happy. The friends were coming in from the dressing room. Everybody to congratulate Hércules Ayala, who had defeated the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Boy, that's right. I'm telling you, that's just a great night there in Ponce. But like I said, Hugo,
let's wrap it up then.
Let's wrap it up. We're just going to go to the closing.
Wrestling fans, this concludes Wrestling Classics, another outstanding production of ENG. We have really seen some fantastic matches. The late Bruiser Brody, Dory Funk and his wife against Moolah and Carlos, and the Hot Rod Roddy Piper, plus Macho Man Savage. Great matches here in the World Wrestling Council, and we do have to apologize once again to all our viewers, our fans who are watching at home, or wherever the place might be. Some of the matches had some difficulties on the video. Jaggers already explained at the beginning. A long time ago, they did not really take too much care of the videos, but ENG Production has taken in consideration all this, and that's how come in the times to come from now on, you're going to see great matches and outstanding quality.
That's right. You know, Savinovich, you take a look. Some of the people that bought this video, they didn't plan good enough either. You better buy yourself 1 or 2 more six-packs now. Believe me, I'm telling you. And take a look, ladies and gentlemen, because in the near future, you're going to see a lot more EG videos. And like I've said before, no wrestling library is complete without an EG video, baby. And Hangman Bobby Jaggers and Hugo Savinovich bringing it to your living room. And so until the next one, see you at the video store.